But if you leave your name and number, we'll get back to you.
Greetings, I'm Taalik Cox. I had the pleasure of speaking with Taalik, Ibn'rad, and he has a movement / ministry by the name of the Reality Temple on Earth, and I had the pleasure of speaking with him for several hours today, and I think it's only fair that I do a reaction video to the conversation. And the conversation was on various topics, which was basically centered around African quote-unquote consciousness. And he was a real deep brother, very down to earth, very approachable. He didn't carry himself like a know-it-all. Someone you could talk to and really listen to you. It was such an honor to finally meet somebody over the internet that has an ear to listen, and not only an ear to listen, but will take full action on what they stand for. And I appreciated having that conversation with you, and I do look forward to working with you.
Nobody's being delivered from anything. God ain't doing nothing for nobody right now. And gee, I wonder why. Because these folks are making it.
So thank you.
Close us out.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother, assistant minister Taalik. Not to get confused with Taalik. T-A-A.
Yes, sir.
T-A-A-L-I-B. A-A-L-I-K.
Yes, sir.
But see, I actually created my name from T-A-A-L-I-B. That's where it come from. The only thing I did was take the B off and put a K.
Right.
Little did I know that name actually already. I thought I was creating something new, but I mean, it's all good. So that was our brother, Assistant Minister Taalik, speaking on it may be time for blacks to leave America, and of course we have as a guest. I say as a ghost, as a guest in the house. We have a guest in the house, Brother Gary, aka back in the day used to be known as the son of Will. He's in the house with us. chilling, just sitting back in the cut. And also in the chat room, we have Brother John Henry. John Henry been around for a little while here. And peace, respect you, John, brother. He wants us to answer the question, leave America and go where? I'm going to bring this talk to conclusion. All right. What must be understood is that this taking control of a state is like a lifeboat on a ship. We are on a giant ship. We are on a Titanic. And if you have a little bit of sense, you can see that this Titanic it has hit an iceberg and is in trouble. Now, on these boats, they have these ships, they have lifeboats. And what we're attempting to do is create a lifeboat for ourselves, which will be this state that we call, or we know of as Mississippi. That's what we want to do. I must make it very clear that Mississippi is part of the United States. This is not building your nation. This is not trying to establish your own country. This is Operation Exodus Mississippi is using our voting power because we predominantly in population in that state. So we should be able to take our vote and take control of the politics and the laws of that to benefit ourselves for a change. And if we can do that, including taking the governor's house, that means we have all the privileges of a state, which means we have access to the National Guard, we have access and control of the educational system and so forth and so forth. Now, this is still the United States. And as we begin to do this, there are going to be many folks who clearly won't like this. But whatever we do, remember, now, if we can establish something, since we can show how beneficial, making this a poor, impoverished state and making it something, enrich that state and make it better than what it was before our control, that shows our benefit to this nation. And we should be able to speak directly to the federal government as a state, reparations and other things. You as a state, you can ask the government for our political prisoners and those of our political prisoners that are in these institutions. We can ask the federal government, would you release them to our custody? You don't have to worry about them going anywhere. Let them die and live the rest of their lives in dignity. Let us as a state have them. They won't leave the state of Mississippi. They can stay here and live in dignity for the rest of their lives. You can ask for reparations as a state. You can send our ambassadors all over this world to China, to any parts of Asia, to Africa. You can send your ambassadors out. And see, while your ambassadors are out, I'm going to answer the question that John Henry gives us. When you send your ambassadors out across the globe, they can be on the lookout for a place where if things aren't going very well in the United States, they can seek out a place and we can make deals with governments, and it don't necessarily have to be in Africa. If it's on the continent of Africa, that's fine and dandy. But anywhere where somebody can allow you to go and create your own place for yourself as a refugee from a hostile environment. You can be doing that. Plus, as a state, while things are doing good, you can love that place. You can love that future place that you may call a residence by creating a relationship. We don't have a relationship with nobody on this planet. So you're talking about going to Africa, but you don't have no relationship with no president, no ambassador. You have no relationship with no country, nowhere. We barely have an African friend that we know. So how are you going to leave and just go anywhere and you don't have any relationships? So as a state, as the representatives of a state, you can develop relationships with all types of people. And when they see you as being valuable, you don't know what kind of deal that you can get, because in this building of a new reality or taking control of the state, the emphasis must also be to the people that we cannot stay with the mindset that we have right now. In other words, we cannot continue to behave and act like the N-word. That's not going to fly. You cannot act like the N-word and control a state. We will take over the state and it will fall apart and everybody will laugh. And I told you that's what happens when Negroes take control. So it don't make no sense to go or take control of the political license of a state and you still a damn N-word. Sorry, children. I apologize. We cannot stay the N-word. To take control of this state means we must change our whole way of thinking, the whole way that we view things. We must become the holy and righteous people that we claim we are by nature. At least pretend to be so that we can get this job done. Because otherwise, you're not going to make, even if we took control of that state, it's not going to be successful. And nobody on this planet is going to want you because they already have N-words of their own in their own countries. They don't need some more to come there and mess up what they got going on. So it don't make no sense. So what you're looking here is that we must change or make a metamorphosis in ourselves. Otherwise, brothers and sisters, this can't work anyway. I compare this to what we see in a butterfly. Many of us, we view the caterpillar as a very ugly creature. A lot of them are very hairy. They look like a little worm walking around. And many people don't consider caterpillars to be very beautiful creatures. But then they go through a metamorphosis and they wrap themselves up in silk. And then in a matter of time, you see them come up out of that as a butterfly, the blood, the butterfly, a brand new creature, and that creature is able, that creature considered more beautiful than the caterpillar, but that creature is able to take flight. And that's the way we need to look at ourselves. The N-word is an ugly caterpillar. The current state that we find ourselves in, we are some ugly caterpillars. But we must go through a metamorphosis and we must change and turn into something we thought that we could never have been. If you did not see the transformation or did not have any knowledge of the metamorphosis, you will not even know that the butterfly and the caterpillar really was the same animal. And that's what we want to be. We want to become something. We're the same, but we change ourselves, go through a metamorphosis and turn it to a brand new being. So in your scriptures, it talks about the God saying that, behold, I make all things new, and the former things shall pass away. All things new. We are going to be or need to be the representative of that which is new. And all it was, they have to disappear. I know you love Islam. And I went to the followers of Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad said that the Islam that we have will not go into the hereafter. It's not going to go to heaven. So he's telling you that the Islam, your bow ties that you be doing, and the Orthodox Islam, the Islam that you know, is not going to enter the kingdom of heaven. And the former things shall pass away. All these things that we think that we know. In order for you to make this change, because see, they are detrimental. They are of an old world. So when that caterpillar begins to change, that caterpillar is taking all that what the caterpillar was, letting it all go. And when that caterpillar comes up out of that cocoon, a brand new creature emerges. And that's what it's going to take in order to be successful in this. Hopefully, we have enough this change. So the brother says, where will we go? Again, like I say, it could be, the options are endless. It's according to your relationship. How you change a person that's low down and dirty, they don't have a lot of friends. But when a person is nice, when a person knows how to socialize with other people, they have more advantage. They have more opportunity to know more people who like them. If nobody, your journey in this life is going to be sort of bad because nobody don't want to do nothing for you. So we need to put ourselves in a position so we would be likable. We don't want to be like these stereotypes that we've been painted around the earth. When they see you, when they see us, they want to, the people of the planet, when they see us as a butterfly, they want to see, I didn't know y'all was like that. Oh, yeah, well, see, we've changed. You know, we was always this way. It was something bad in the water that kept us, you know. But this is a brand new day. A new heaven and a new earth. Now, when the scriptures talk about a new heaven and a new earth, that don't necessarily mean there's going to be, because you can drive a new car, but you can drive a new car due to recycled materials from an old car. But recycled materials from an old car creates the new car. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to, I'm not telling us that we just get rid of everything, but we need to learn how to recycle properly, put things in their proper perspective and become something new. So the old Model T, a new 1980 Delta, whatever, new car, still the same, that is new. So we have to change. You cannot be successful to continue being in the mindset that we're in. Our mentality that we have right now is not going to do us any good when we begin to interact with people around this earth. They don't want to hear all these teachings that we claim that we got. These people are not interested because it just don't make any sense. It only makes sense to those of us in this particular situation. You're going to have to accept reality for what it is. You're going to have to learn how to talk as a nation, not as what your personal belief or whatever. You're going to have to learn how to talk on a national level, understand what it means to talk to another nation, other leaders.